Taiwan is bursting with heaps of fun places to explore. Join me, Amber Hatfield, as I hit up travel hotspots, soak up some culture, and hunt down hidden gems. Let's go! Welcome back to Let's Go. On today's episode, I'm joined by my longtime friend, Sarah Chau. I wanted to have you on the show today to share about something that you did recently, which is a Spartan Race. So actually, in a previous episode, I had another friend, Amy, come and talk about doing marathons in Taiwan and traveling around in different places in Taiwan to do marathons. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to have you talk about Spartan Race. So for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's like kind of like a run obstacle course race, which is pretty challenging. And Sarah has done that recently. And I kind of want you to share experience about it a little bit. So firstly, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for this.
Yes, you are.
But what has motivated you to do the Spartan Race that you recently did?
Okay, so we've always seen the Spartan Race and I've always wanted to sign up, but it is always in weird timings and really far away. So if you don't have a car, it's not convenient. And so I remember it was in Kaohsiung before, and I think it was like in April, and I was thinking, oh, it's just too hot. There's no way I want to go and like do the Spartan Race in that heat.
Yeah.
So I just never, signed up for it. But now that we moved to Taipei, and when I saw the posting, I was like, okay, it's in Taipei, so it's not too far away. And it's in October, so it's not as hot.
Yeah.
So originally, I had asked you, which one should I do? I've never done Spartan before. And I was considering, okay, let's just start as 5K. You're like, no, just do 10K. And by the way, she was supposed to sign up.
Yeah.
It was too late for when you guys wanted to sign up.
I have to say that this was not on purpose, although you're going to argue with it, but it really wasn't.
Yeah. But no, it was amazing. At the time, though, you're just like, oh, this is not fun at all. It's exhausting and draining. And I felt like I wasn't as prepared as I should be because, okay, so the official Spartan one is like, if you don't complete a obstacle, you're supposed to do 30 burpees, which is funny because they have a burpee zone. I never saw one person at the burpee zone.
That's like when I did it too.
Like complete like zero people, like not at all. I was like, shoot, I should probably do one burpee or so. But I was like, I need to keep my energy and my strength for the other obstacles. Yeah. So there's just no way I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So before that, I think I started training like 2 months prior to that. Meaning I've been going to the gym and doing strength training, and I try to get myself to do a pull up, but no, I still can't do a pull up. It's just so hard. But then I would run by the lake by my house, and I started with like 3 kilometers, and I worked my way up to 5 kilometers. But I only ran up to 5 kilometers.
Right.
But when we were doing Spartan, I realized that was just it didn't prepare me, because actually when you're running at Spartan, it's as if you're running on a trail. So that was a problem, because the place where Spartan was held was in Pingxi, and so it was like the middle of nowhere, and then it was just through trail. So you had a trail run, and I had never practiced that, so it's like steep, muddy. Also, it was weird. You would have to line up to go down. So prior to this, before, on Saturday, they have an event, and my event on 10K was Sunday. So my friend is 21K. And so I had asked him before, I was like, good luck on your race. Like, tell me, if you can tell me some pointers. And all I got a text back was, it was horrible. He was like, it was horrible. And he completed his in 9 hours. And he said there's no food. Like
9 hours?
Yeah, 9 hours there was no food. Like, I thought that was weird, because when I did a triathlon relay in Hualien, and that was 10K as well, but throughout the stations, there was water, like muscle relaxing spray, and then also bananas. The stations throughout the whole 10K was just, it didn't make sense, because there was like I think the first 6 kilometers, I felt like there was all the three water stations, and then there was no stations after all of the obstacles. It's like after all those obstacles, you're so tired and you're so thirsty, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty, but there's no water.
Oh, that's so bad.
And you don't want to carry anything, right, with your obstacles and stuff. So it was just not. I didn't like. I think that was poorly planned.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But what was something that you did enjoy about it? Like, what do you think was your favorite part about it?
Well, okay, so backtracking a little. So there was like a lot of lines, right? And at first, like my fiance would be upset. He's like, "Why are people like cutting?" And then we were waiting in line. We were like, "Okay, that's why." It's just like, you can kind of pass away from everybody else. So that's what we did. We passed away, and like people would use their rope, and I decided, like, it was steep, so I was like, I'm just gonna slide down. I used my butt and slid down because it was a little bit muddy. And so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna slide down at this point. I don't want to wait. So all of this, after the running portion, was 6 kilometers. It was just pure running and trail running, basically. And you know, I wanted to run most of the time because that's what I prepared and practiced, but I was like, there's so many hills, and it was just too steep where I was like, okay, my knees are gonna hurt too much. So I had to walk. It's like Stairmaster Central. Like, I was just like, oh, I can't do this. So, and at this time, you know, I've never done Spartan before, and I thought that, okay, I'm not gonna bring my phone. I'm just gonna enjoy this experience. And I woke up like at 5 a.m. to go to Spartan. And so I forgot my Apple Watch. I was like, I don't know what time is it, and I don't know like how far we are. So I asked one of the other runners. I was like, hey, like, what time is it? And like, how long has it been? And so we ended up becoming friends, and there was a group of them. There's 3 of them. And so they became our friends, and we decided to do the obstacles together. And luckily they were the ones who were able to record us the whole way. Like, even with the obstacles, he was able to record like us doing the obstacles. So after 6 kilometers, we finally see the obstacles, and that's like, we get really hyped up. We're like, okay, our first obstacle. So I remember like it's like you have to go over and then through something. And then after that, run a little bit, and then wow, there you see it, like just everybody there with all of the obstacles. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. But the first obstacle I remember was you had to climb the rope. I could not do it, but my fiance Jeff was able to complete it. And then the second one, I believe it was just carrying something, and so we were able to carry it. And then so there was many obstacles, and I felt like even though some of them were difficult, I would attempt to try it. I did complete most of them. Yeah, and I was really surprised I can do one of the monkey bars. I was like, oh, I can do monkey bars.
Monkey bars are hard.
It is.
Yeah.
So Jeff couldn't complete one of them, and like out of all 25 obstacles, he couldn't do one, and it was the monkey bars that like it rotates as you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
It was horrible. Oh, another thing is, so my friend had told me to get gloves, like the 3M gloves. And so I got them beforehand, right? And somebody didn't have the gloves, and you can see them get cut open because it was gnarly. I was like,
so do you think like you would want to do it again?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And
they're smart at their marketing, right? Because when you get one of the 10Ks, it's just one out of the 3. So you want to, after you do one, you want all 3 pieces.
You gotta get the trifecta.
You have to get the trifecta. So it's like 5K, 10K, and then 21K. So I figure we did 10K, we can easily do 5K. So next year I would definitely do 5K, and then, you know, eventually work up to the 21K.
Yeah, I think it depends where it is as well, because when I did it before, I did the 10K, but it doesn't sound anything like what yours was like. Mine was really flat. Like the 10K that I did was in the
Kaohsiung. Oh, Kaohsiung.
Yeah, in Kaohsiung, in that Sijin Island there. And it's really flat there. Like everything's totally flat. There's basically no incline at all. And then the obstacles are placed throughout the race.
Oh.
So it's like, I thought it was quite good. I didn't expect that yours would be like so steep and all obstacles together at once. It's kind of different, yeah.
But some of the obstacles, you would kind of be like, okay, I don't want to get my shoes stuck in mud. But you just have to, and because there are some parts that are muddy and you're basically stepping in cow manure. I accidentally stepped like my whole foot in and I was like, you know what? That like, this is part of the experience. But at the end of it, it was really, okay. So it's funny because I saw like on Facebook, them preparing for the end, right? It was like blue water, like clear water, but by my time it was muddy water. It was so dirty.
Oh, you have to swim through it or like wade through it?
So yeah, it's like you have to go underneath it. For first, there's like 3 mud spots that you walk through it, and then the last mud spot you have to go underneath, like with your face.
Okay.
And then after you put your face and go underneath the what is that? The wall thing?
Yeah, some kind of barricade. I don't know.
Right? Okay. Anyway, so you go underneath that, and then you have to crawl under the barbed wire, and then after that, jump over the fire. So,
yeah. And how did you feel at the end then? When you jumped over the fire, like, I'm done.
It was amazing. And like, I don't know, I was holding my fiance's hand. We jumped together and I was like, oh, we're done. And his dad was there watching and I was like, oh, we finally completed it. It just feels good. I feel like that's the best feeling at the end of it. And it's funny because a lot of people actually skipped like the muddy part or like going underneath because they didn't want to go through that and get dirty. But I was like, you know what, this is part of the experience. Like this is the Spartan, you know.
Yeah. Spartan's supposed to be like muddy and messy and stuff. That's kind of the point, I think.
Yeah. And at the end of it, the results were pretty good. I think we finished in 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I feel like if we didn't take photos and stuff, we could have been actually faster.
I feel like in Taiwan, a lot of people that do it are really not that professional or like not really so into running. So I think even you could maybe try the competitive category.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
That's it for today's episode with Sarah Chau. Join me next week where me and Sarah continue our discussion and chat about some travel to outlying island of Taiwan, a very special place which I'm sure you're going to enjoy. See you next time.